If EVs are so safe and petrols are 80 times more likely to set fire than an EV, why is Chery promising you a free car if one burns? If electric cars are safer than petrol and diesel cars, then I've got a question for you. Why has one of China's biggest car manufacturers just announced that if one of its cars burns because of a battery manufacturing fault, they'll replace the entire vehicle? Because that's exactly what Chery's done. Now, before anyone accuses me of spreading fear, let's be clear from the start. Chery isn't saying its cars are unsafe. What it is saying is that it's so confident in its battery technology that if the battery suffers thermal runaway because of a manufacturing defect, it'll replace the whole car. But here's what I find fascinating. For years we've been told battery fires are so rare, they're hardly worth talking about. So why are manufacturers spending billions making batteries harder to puncture, harder to crush, harder to ignite, and now even offering replacement cars if something goes wrong? Quick one. This bit isn't sponsored, but it is my personal recommendation. I use the high-low band for blood pressure tracking, and it's honestly been a godsend for me. Super easy to use, and I get a much more realistic picture than a one-off reading at the doctor. If you use my link, you get 20% off plus a 12-month subscription, and I get £25 if your referral is successful. So thanks if you do. The link's in the description. On with the video. So let's take a closer look. Chery has launched what it's calling a new level of battery protection. It says its Rhino battery has been engineered to exceed China's latest battery safety standards. The company talks about extreme testing, puncture tests, crush tests, impact tests, water immersion, high temperatures, low temperatures, and a whole range of abuse tests designed to make sure the battery doesn't go into thermal runaway. That all sounds impressive, but here's the obvious question. If battery fires aren't something consumers should worry about, why is battery fire prevention now one of the biggest selling points in the electric vehicle industry? What's changed? China has introduced much tougher battery safety regulations. Manufacturers now have to prove their batteries meet much higher standards. That's undoubtedly good news. Any improvement in safety should be welcomed, but it also tells us something. Governments and manufacturers clearly believe battery safety deserves far more attention than it used to receive. You don't rewrite safety regulations unless there's something worth improving. Here's the contradiction I keep coming back to. We're often told electric vehicles are safer than petrol cars, yet at the same time manufacturers are designing new battery chemistries, adding stronger battery protection, developing sophisticated cooling systems, installing multiple layers of battery monitoring, testing batteries under increasingly severe conditions, and now offering to replace your entire vehicle if a manufacturing defect causes thermal runaway. Those two messages don't sit comfortably together. If the risk is insignificant, why are manufacturers working so hard to eliminate it? Now let's be fair, statistics generally suggest battery fires are less common than conventional vehicle fires. But that's only part of the discussion, because frequency isn't the whole story. Severity matters too. When lithium-ion batteries enter thermal runaway, firefighters often need huge quantities of water. The batteries can reignite, the fires can last much longer, and they can release hazardous gases. That's why fire services around the world have developed specialist procedures for dealing with electric vehicle fires. Again, not because every EV is going to catch fire, but because when one does, it presents different challenges. The warranty itself is clever marketing. Think about it. If Chery genuinely believes the chance of a manufacturing-related battery fire is extremely small, then replacing the occasional vehicle may cost very little. Yet the publicity generated is enormous. Customers hear one message: we're so confident we'll replace the whole car. That builds confidence. Whether you're buying an EV or not, you'd probably like every manufacturer to have that level of confidence in his products. But perhaps the real story isn't the warranty at all. Perhaps it's what it tells us about where the industry is today. Manufacturers are still investing heavily in battery safety, Governments are still tightening regulations. Engineers are still developing safer battery designs. That suggests the industry itself recognises battery safety remains an important engineering challenge. Not necessarily a common one, but an important one. So next time someone tells you battery fires are nothing more than a myth, ask them this: if that's true, why are manufacturers introducing tougher safety systems every year? Why are governments rewriting battery safety regulations? And why is one of the world's biggest car companies prepared to hand you a replacement car if a battery manufacturing defect causes thermal runaway? I'd genuinely like to hear your thoughts. Is this simply brilliant marketing, or does it reveal that battery safety remains one of the biggest challenges facing the EV industry? Now let me ask you another question. What if your EV goes into thermal runaway and it destroys your house and your next door neighbour's house? Will Cherry give you a new car and you and your neighbour new houses? Because thermal runaway isn't just about the EV, it's about collateral damage. What if, say for instance, it burns the house down and kills 2 or 3 people? Are they going to pay those people's life insurance? Are they going to pay compensation to the family for their lost income in future? Or are they just going to give you a brand new car that you wouldn't have up your driveway and you wouldn't go anywhere near because your last one set on fire and burnt your house down? But as that doesn't happen. Yes, it does. EV fire destroys 2 homes. Fire chief says manufacturers must fix this. Imagine parking your car in your driveway on a Sunday afternoon. Then just minutes later, not only is your house on fire, but your neighbour's home is burning too. That's exactly what happened in Winthrop, Massachusetts. 2 homes destroyed, 4 families displaced, 2 people taken to hospital, and according to the fire chief, the likely source of the fire was an electric vehicle parked between the 2 homes, although the official investigation was still ongoing at the time of his comments. This story raises some difficult questions about electric vehicle fires, how firefighters deal with them, and who ultimately carries the responsibility. It was around 4:30 on a Sunday afternoon when firefighters were called to River Road in Winthrop. When crews arrived, they were confronted with an enormous blaze. 2 homes were already heavily involved. Between them sat an electric vehicle that was also on fire. Within a short time, the incident escalated into a 4-alarm fire, bringing in firefighters from numerous neighbouring departments. This wasn't a routine house fire. It became one of the biggest incidents the town had seen in years. By the end of the day, both houses had been declared total losses. Everything inside was gone. 4 families suddenly had nowhere to live. Among those taken to hospital was a pregnant woman who later gave birth to a healthy baby girl after escaping the fire. Thankfully, there were no firefighter injuries. Considering the scale of the blaze, that's remarkable. The most striking part of this story came afterwards. Winthrop Fire Chief Stephen Calandra didn't simply describe the fire. He openly discussed the challenges his crews face when dealing with burning electric vehicles. He said, electric car, once that gets going, put water on it, doesn't do anything. He went on to say that EV fires can require hundreds of thousands of gallons of water and are harder to extinguish. Those aren't comments from a social media post. They came from the fire chief standing in front of the cameras after the incident. The manufacturers have to fix this. Perhaps the most significant statement was this. When asked whether firefighters simply needed more training, the chief disagreed. Instead, he said, responsibility lies with the manufacturers. His words were clear. The manufacturers have to come up with a method to put the fires out. That's on them. That's an extraordinary statement from someone responsible for protecting lives and property. Why are these fires different? Lithium-ion battery fires behave differently from conventional vehicle fires. When a battery enters thermal runaway, it can release tremendous amounts of heat and flammable gases. Cells can fail one after another, making the fire difficult to control. Even when flames appear extinguished, there's a risk of reignition, which is why damaged EVs are often monitored for extended periods after a fire. Fire services around the world have developed specialist procedures to deal with these incidents. It's worth keeping this in perspective. Vehicle fires are uncommon overall, whether they involve petrol, diesel, hybrid or electric vehicles. However, when an EV battery fire does occur, it can present different firefighting challenges. Now think beyond the fire itself. 2 homes destroyed, emergency services from multiple towns, hours of firefighting, families needing emergency accommodation, insurance claims, property losses, environmental cleanup, investigation costs. These incidents can quickly become extraordinarily expensive. If the investigation ultimately concludes the vehicle started the fire, people will naturally ask, could this have been prevented? Can battery technology be made safer? Should homes have greater separation from parked vehicles? Yes, absolutely yes, and they should not be allowed to be charged in an internal garage. Should firefighting equipment evolve? Well, yes, of course it should, always. And are manufacturers doing enough to reduce the severity of these rare but potentially devastating incidents? Those are legitimate questions for engineers, regulators and manufacturers to consider. The conclusion: this isn't about creating fear. Millions of electric vehicles are driven every day without incident. But when senior firefighters publicly say they need manufacturers to develop better ways of dealing with battery fires, it's a conversation worth having. Technology continues to improve and safety standards evolve, but incidents like this remind us that new technologies can bring new challenges alongside their benefits. As always, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you think enough is being done to reduce the risk and consequences of EV battery fires? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.